Hi, today I will be talking about the different kinds of planes that might be right for you. I saw a video, and it made me remember a comment I saw in one of my early videos, and that made me think that maybe I could share some trends about planes and spacecrafts that I've noticed over the past few years of playing the game. The first point that I think I should make is that you should always take your time. Even on very simple crafts, it takes a lot of time, possibly more time than it takes with larger crafts, because you need to get everything just right. But the second point, in contrast to the first point, is don't spend too much time on it. Adding parts just to add parts is just going to lead to more issues, such as flexing and center of mass issues. Now, to the list. I will be mainly focusing on the planes that I've had the most experience with. And the type I've had the most experience with is the reaction wheel VTOL. These planes usually have 2 or 8 engines, and they fly like quadcopters, or octocopters if it has 8 engines. My first experience with this type of craft was the Firefly. It had 4 lift engines and 4 forward engines, and some small fins for stability. Inside it had 2 vertical rudders for yaw control. I then later updated it to become the Arachnid. It had 8 engines for lifting and no forward engines, and was much harder to fly. It had no yaw control, so it was able to do flat spins, but it liked to do flat spins even when you didn't want to do flat spins. I enjoy flying it more than the Firefly, but the Firefly helped me learn how to fly the Arachnid. My recommendations for building these, at least at first, before you get your own style, is to stay as small as possible. Never build too big. Don't add too many engines. I'd say 4 for lifting and 2 or 4 for forwards. You will always want to get bigger slowly, and always have wings on trainers. Trainers should have wings because this will help with yaw control as well as not over-rolling on pitch, which is why I put the wings farther to the rear, which pushes the tail down at high speeds. Do not go cheap on reaction wheels. The Arachnid has 17 reaction wheels on it, and that allows it to do what it does. The Firefly has 1, but it does get a lot of its control from aerodynamic control surfaces. The drawbacks to these are they don't fly very long. With all the engines running on both the Arachnid and the Fireflies, they have the same number of engines. The flight time is 7 minutes. They can be hard to fly at low frames per second, but due to their low part count, this is usually not an issue. However, if you're playing on a laptop that is 10 years old, don't make VTOLs. You'll flip over it as soon as you get an FPS drop. And the last drawback is they have no practical purpose in, say, career mode. They're a lot of fun to fly. You can disregard physics because reaction wheels, but they don't really do anything. Okay, the second type that I want to mention is a lot like a VTOL, except it's not. It's a jet that can fly vertically. Basically, it gets its lift from 2 gimbal engines, the Panther engines, and they can fly vertically or horizontally. They combine the best aspects of both VTOLs and regular planes by being able to do the tricks of a VTOL and having the distance and range of a regular plane. I actually flew one of these around the equator of Kerbin by adding 2 small drop tanks, and they can get fairly large, although small ones are better. These ones are hard to fly, but you can work up to them using trainers. A good way to learn these incredibly acrobatic planes is to make trainer versions of the harder to fly plane. This is simply done by moving the wings back and reducing the control authority on the Panther engines. This will allow you to have a completely aerodynamically controlled plane, which is stable due to the forward center of mass. The fourth type of plane is the SSTO, and these are basically planes with rockets stuck on them. They combine the best of both worlds. They go to space, and most of them are still fairly fun to fly in the atmosphere. They aren't good at acrobatics as they need to be stable at high speeds, and they, when full of fuel, are extremely heavy because you need a lot of fuel to go to space. I've had several versions. The only one that had much success was this prototype that has 2 drop tanks and lots of fuel tanks attached to the engines. It still doesn't have enough fuel to correctly dock with a space station in a 500-kilometer orbit, but with the help of a tug it got there and then refueled and went back. These can be very hard to make, and as they need a lot of fuel, can be very part intensive. This can lead to lag, and I only recommend them if you have a fairly good computer. And the last type of plane is the model plane. These are completely looks-based. They usually fly horribly, although some, like my MiG-29, actually fly well. But that's not the intent of them. The attempt with these is to replicate an actual or fictional vehicle with the stock parts. And there are some really incredible designs out there. I've only made a few as I don't really enjoy flying them. One of which is the blockade runner from Star Wars, and it's actually never been anywhere because it can't get off the planet. And the other one is the MiG-29, which flies surprisingly well considering it's over 200 parts. The most important tip that I can give you is that you need to have your own style that fits your needs when playing the game. Thank you for watching.